Now for anatomy and physiology with Maya Alvarez.
The human body consists of 6 levels of structural organization. These levels include, in order from smallest to largest, the chemical, cellular, tissue, organ, system, and organismal levels. The chemical level includes atoms and molecules. When those molecules build cells, the cellular level occurs. Those groups of cells combine to form the tissue level. Different tissues unite to form the organ level. Then organs join to form the system level. The organismal level combines all the smaller levels, creating the organism. In addition, there are 11 organ systems: the integumentary, skeletal, muscular, endocrine, nervous, cardiovascular, lymphatic and immunity, digestive, respiratory, urinary, and reproductive systems. The human body also carries on basic life processes that distinguish it from non-living objects like a mass or a feather boa. These include metabolism, responsiveness, movement, growth, differentiation, and reproduction. Metabolism is the sum of all the chemical processes that occur in the body. Responsiveness is the way living organisms respond to their environment, which includes when they display any kind of movement. Growth is an increase in body size. Differentiation is the process in which unspecialized cells become specialized cells, such as stem cells. Reproduction refers to either the formation of new cells or production of an organism. Homeostasis is the maintenance of relatively stable internal body conditions despite changes that occur inside and outside the body. It maintains the volume and composition of body fluids inside and outside cells. Intracellular fluid is the fluid inside cells, and extracellular fluids are the fluids outside of the cells. Homeostasis must always be obtained, and feedback systems work to maintain that homeostasis. A feedback system is a cycle of events that monitor, evaluate, and change disruptions to a controlled condition in the body. It is comprised of the receptor, control center, and effector. A receptor monitors changes and sends input to a control center, where input is evaluated and output commands are sent to effectors that produce a response. Negative feedback systems are responses that reverse the original stimulus. Positive feedback systems strengthen the original stimulus. The inability to maintain homeostasis may cause disease or death. A disease is an illness accompanied by a set of clinically observable, measurable changes called signs, and subjective changes experienced called symptoms. In the anatomical position, the body is erect, facing forward, head level, eyes forward, feet flattened, forward, and arms at the sides with palms forward. When lying face down, the body is in prone position, and when lying face up, it is in supine position. The human body is divided into 7 major external regions: the head, skull, face, neck, trunk, upper limbs, and lower limbs. To indicate specific body structures, directional terms are used. These include superior, towards your head, inferior, away from the head, anterior, near or at the front of the body, posterior, near or at the back of the body, medial, near to the midline or mid-sagittal plane, lateral, farther from the midline or mid-sagittal plane, intermediate, between 2 structures, ipsilateral, on the same side of the body as another structure, contralateral, on the opposite side of the body as another structure, proximal, near to the point of origin, distal, farther from the point of origin, superficial, toward or at the surface of the body, and deep, away from the surface of the body. The body can be cut along imaginary flat surfaces called planes. The sagittal plane divides the body or organ into left and right sections. When they are divided equally, it is the mid-sagittal plane, but when they are divided unequally, it is considered a parasagittal plane. The frontal plane divides the body organ into front and back sections. A transverse plane results in upper and lower sections. The oblique plane cuts the body or organ at an angle. Body cavities are spaces within the body that help protect, separate, and support internal organs. The 2 principal body cavities are the dorsal and ventral body cavities. Body cavities are separated from each other by bones, muscles, and ligaments. The dorsal body cavity is subdivided into the cranial cavity that houses the brain and the vertebral canal that contains the spinal cord. 3 layers of meninges line and protect the dorsal body cavity. The ventral body cavity is subdivided by the muscular diaphragm into a superior thoracic cavity and an inferior abdominopelvic cavity. The thoracic cavity contains 3 smaller cavities: the pericardial cavity around the heart and 2 pleural cavities, each surrounding a lung. The mediastinum is located between the lungs, extending from the neck to the diaphragm, and contains all thoracic viscera except the lungs. The abdominopelvic cavity has a superior region, the abdominal cavity, containing the stomach, spleen, liver, gallbladder, small intestine, and most of the large intestine. The inferior region, the pelvic cavity, contains the urinary bladder, portions of the large intestine, and reproductive organs. Serous membranes line the walls of body cavities and cover organs within them. The thoracic and abdominal cavity walls and viscera are covered with a thin, slippery serous membrane. The part of the serous membrane that lines cavity walls is a parietal layer, and the viscera layer covers the organs within the cavity. The pleura, pericardium, and peritoneum are serous membranes. The pleura is the serous membrane of the pleural cavities around the lungs. The pericardium is the serous membrane around the pericardial cavity around the heart, and the peritoneum is the serous membrane of the abdominal cavity around the abdominal viscera. Organs such as kidneys that are located posterior to the parietal peritoneum are referred to as retroperitoneal. The abdominopelvic cavity is divided into regions or quadrants. Anatomists and clinicians use two methods of dividing the abdominopelvic into smaller areas in order to describe the location of organs. The first method divides the cavity into 9 abdominopelvic regions: right hypochondriac, epigestive, left hypochondriac, right lumbar, umbilical, left lumbar, right inguinal, hypogastric, and left inguinal. The second method divides the cavity into quadrants: right upper quadrant, left upper quadrant, right lower quadrant, and left lower quadrant.
This has been Anatomy and Physiology with Maya Alvarez. Thank you for watching.
The